Hi, welcome to my channel, IELTS Speaking Part 3. I'm so glad that you stopped by. Okay, in this video, I will answer 3 IELTS speaking questions. And this will help you see how a native English speaker from the United States might answer them. Now, don't memorize these. This is just to give you an example of how someone might answer these questions. Because if you memorize these, test examiners hate that. So just promise me you won't do that. You'll just use these as an example. Okay? And to be more realistic, I don't practice or rehearse my answers. And so at the end of the video, I will tell you what I thought and how I felt when answering the question. So to let you know that sometimes it's difficult, even for native speakers, to answer questions. So don't feel bad if you have a hard time, but that's why I have this channel, just to help you get some ideas on how you can do it. Okay, so let's begin. So how can parents and teachers help young people to live independently? So that question I have to think about for a second. Parents can help young people to live independently by teaching them some life skills, even at a very early age. So, for example, they can learn how to clean. Even at 3 years old, they can be taught to pick up maybe their toys. And as they get older, as teenagers, learn how to maybe wash their clothes. Maybe they can even have like a little part-time job and be taught how to save the money. And so that's something that parents can help young people so they can live independently. And what else? Maybe how to get along with others. When it comes to teachers, how to help young people to live independently requires a little bit more thought. Because whenever I think about teachers, I only think about them teaching regular subjects in school, not helping young people to live independently. That's not my first thought. But I think a teacher could teach them some life skills. Definitely being able to learn math so that they can budget very well. They can know how to, people don't usually use checkbooks nowadays, but at least learn how to balance their account. They definitely need to learn how to read so they can do a job well. The teacher can help them learn some other type of skills too that they might need so they can live independently, not only just learning skills so they can work, but think critically. And what else? To live independently. Oh, I know I even learned how to drive a car at school. So they helped me get my driver's license. I definitely need that for independent life. But this is all that I can think of just now. So the questions usually have to be 1 to 2 minutes, and this looks like this went over a little bit over 2 minutes. But in answering this question, especially the ones about the teachers helping young people to live independently, because I never think about something like that. It never crosses my mind. And so I had to think, what do I need to live independently that a teacher could have taught me? So definitely the basic skills like reading, writing, math. That helps me live independently now that I have time, a little bit more time to think about it. Parents definitely encourage young people to, before they even leave the house, encourage young people to have some type of work ethic or something. If they can't, some parents don't want their kids to have part-time jobs while they're in high school, but they can at least have some type of assigned chore that they definitely have to do so that they can learn how to work on a schedule. They can learn responsibility and how it might affect others if they don't do it. But yeah, I had never thought about the teachers. But I know parents can definitely help young people to live independently. Yeah, it's definitely hard to answer a question that I just don't think about in everyday life. It really takes some thought. I had to dig deep. First, I have to picture like the question in my head. So I had to picture parents. I had to picture teachers, and then I had to think about some of the skills that I needed to be able to live independently in order to answer this question. But that's how I answered, and that's just how I felt about it. It was okay. It was okay. All right. On to the second question. Let's see. All right. So, how do people usually make important decisions? People usually make important decisions after, at least I hope, after they've done some type of research, either talk to somebody who have already made that decision, or maybe they look up some information even online um, before they make the important decision. I know that's some of the things that I do. I talk to friends, family, I look up some things. So I think people usually will do that too, especially making important decisions like buying a house, buying a car, or even getting married. You don't just make the decision in just a few minutes. You take some time. Sometimes it's weeks, sometimes months, maybe even years. Just so you don't, or at least I feel like I don't want to make a major mistake. So I take my time when it's a very important decision about something. hmm So, what are some important decisions? Yes, that I've made: getting married and who I marry. Yeah, I bought a house, a car, where I go to school, things like that. hmm And I think that's how most people make those decisions. Okay, so regarding this question, it wasn't too difficult for me because there have been so many important decisions I had to make in my life. And I know I don't, when it's an important decision, I don't take that lightly. I think about it for a long time. Well, I say a long time. It depends on how big the decision is. But I think about it. I ask my friends, I ask my family. So this one wasn't too difficult because I think that most people do the same thing when it comes to an important decision. I think they do the same thing as I do. So this question didn't seem too hard for me. Yeah. Okay. Let's go to the third and final question. Let's see here. Okay. How do people make sure they're getting the right information? How do people make sure they're getting the right information? Here again, I think people are similar to me. So when I'm looking up some information, I don't just check one source. I will check several sources. Even if it's online, I don't just accept the first thing that I find because I want to make sure it is correct information, especially if it's something important like health or something super important. I will check with someone who I think might know. So, for example, when it comes to health, I might check something, Google something as usual, start off with that, and then I would definitely check with my doctor just to make sure I have the right information, that I think that what is it, not diagnosing, but that I have the problem, uh, and that they can solve it. Yeah, just trying to make sure I have the right information. I check with people who I think would actually know the answer. Yeah, whether it's a teacher, a doctor, a lawyer. So I might start off checking things myself online, but then I verify it. Definitely verify it with somebody who work in that field, or have some knowledge in that field, to make sure I have the right information. And so I think that's what most other people do. They don't just check one thing or one source, but they'll check several sources and compare them just to make sure. Okay, so those were my 3 questions. It felt okay. I was feeling a little nervous because I don't practice these ahead of time. I just choose a question randomly and answer them off, what you call it, off the top of my head, meaning there's no rehearsal. So this has been an interesting experience, and I will do more. All right, tell me in the comments, what do you think about it? And tell me also when you're scheduled to have your IELTS exam, and also how do you practice for the speaking part of the exam, especially speaking part 3, because there's 3 parts. So let me know in the comments. All right, and don't forget to subscribe and click the bell for notification. Okay, bye.